evil Israeli aggression in the Jenin refugee camp in the West Bank. So the background behind this is basically that the Jenin refugee camp, it's a refugee camp, but it's like a really long-term refugee camp, right? Like the people have been living there for so long and they've been stuck there for so long that they've started like building it up into a city. Obviously a city that's in a totally fucked up situation because it's still a fucking refugee camp, but it's because it's a refugee camp, it's sort of like out of the reach of like the mainstream, like in many respects sold out Palestinian organizations such as the Palestinian Authority. So it's like sort of a breeding ground for alternate resistance groups that are tired of like the status quo, like the collaborator status quo, especially with the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. In Jenin, you've had like, it's been like a hotbed of like anti-settler militancy lately, which is based. And like the response to that from Israel has been to send the fucking goons into the camp and mass murder people. Obviously, right? That's what Israel does. They mass murder people, especially if children. Israel loves killing children. It's their favorite thing. They see a kid, oh man, they can't get enough of it. Israel loves killing children. Their favorite pastime. And here's like, you know, the centrist BBC, like writing about how, oh, there's a fear of some escalation here. Well, yeah, if only the peace, like the status quo could be maintained, right? The only problem here is that Israel didn't just like non-violently steal Palestinian land, I guess. 12 Palestinians were killed, 4 of them under 18, and Israel, of course, used the excuse of them being militants, which is obviously not an excuse anyway, because Israel has no right to be in the West Bank in the first place. No right to be anywhere in Palestine, obviously, but especially not in the West Bank. Even Israel's allies acknowledge that. So what Israel does, obviously, is they breed this opposition to them because they're literally fucking occupying what is internationally recognized Palestinian territory. Even if you're some sort of liberal scum who doesn't believe that all of Israel is Palestine, you know, you don't really have a leg to stand on here. Because obviously Palestinians have a right to resist the settler colonists in their own fucking land, which basically every remotely significant country in the world acknowledges is theirs. So these people are in fucking the West Bank in Jenin, the Jenin refugee camp, resisting Israeli settlers. And the IDF uses that as an excuse to get in there and kill the fuck out of everyone, which is what they love to do. It's Israel's number one thing, is killing and murder. And don't be fooled by like liberal Zionists who like call for peace and shit and who come out against this sort of stuff in these limited instances, because unless they're against the whole state of Israel, then, you know, they're not actually against the violence. They're not actually against any of this, because the only reason that there's violence in the first place is because of Israel. Israel exercises violence against Palestinians for the sake of doing settler colonialism, and Palestinians respond in the much more limited way that they have available to them. And that's really all there is to it. So they then use like the second obviously going to happen instance of people resisting the settler colonialism in their own territory to justify doing more brutal settler colonialism than before. Classic Israel. Like at this point, the Israeli playbook is so obvious and so just predictable that everyone knows what's going on here, right? Like there's not really that much of a point in even explaining it anymore. Like this article, even on the BBC, says, this is a generation that believes the official Palestinian Authority sold out on their future and became little more than a security company for Israel's military occupation. Yes, precisely. True. That's not just that they believe that. That's true. What they believe is 100% true. Exactly. Based BBC, truth to power. Based BBC, truth to power. Other than the believes part. No, it's not just the belief, it's true. So I mean, yeah, there's that's been happening over the last like week or two. Sad, terrible, awful, garbage, fuck Israel, fuck anyone who even remotely supports the existence of Israel even a little bit. They all suck ass.